Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Edwin. I work with Sierra England. I'm going to give you my input and thoughts if you want to become a truck driver starting off, and where to go, how to do it, the pay. I'm going to go through some breakdowns, some details, because when I first started about 6 months ago, nobody gave me no information. I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, what it was really going to be like, and if this is the right job for you. I feel like a lot of people that I know who started off there just ended up, starting and just ended up quitting because they don't understand the fundamentals of, you're not going to be making $5,000 right off the bat. Your first 6 months of truck driving. I'm going to be honest. My highest check so far within my first 6 months was about $2,000, but that was full clock. I was doing local work at the time as well. But yeah, I'm bad right now coming back from Arizona, and I just decided to start making these videos, and it was kind of on my heart because I hear people talk bad, and that's all I ever hear is just bad, and never something good. So I'm just gonna give my input, my opinion on it, and yeah. So for me, when I got to Sierra England, my dad actually was the one who wanted me to go because he noticed I just was hopping job to job, and I was never happy. I was never really satisfied, and so I was like, okay, fine. I'll try it, whatever. But I had to wait till I was 21. So after I turned 21, after my birthday, I applied. I did what I did, and going to school, it was really nice actually. You meet a lot of different people, a lot of everybody helps each other out in the beginning. That's what I noticed, and it was really cool. At the same time, when I had went to the classes and the schooling, it felt like, I don't know why, but it felt like it was going to be free. When at the end of the day, obviously you're going to know that they charge around $5,000 per student for however long their term is for the schooling. So I think it was about 3 months. I don't remember. I think it was like 2 or 3 months. I really don't remember, or maybe even a month. I don't remember. But it just making the friends, and everybody was really cool. And the only thing I can really say and recommend is don't get too comfortable, because a lot of the people that you're going to meet are going to end up leaving, and you guys might never even talk to each other ever again. That was happened to me. I was hoping that maybe I could make some friends and stick on the road and get a CB radio, talk to them, and yada yada yada. So, but after some time, they all kind of left, and I tried to convince them not to leave, because at the end of the day, even if you leave, that school loan, it stays with you. Unless you're going to go with the family who already has a truck and insurance ready for you, then hey, by all means, go ahead. I know you'll make some money, but I would always recommend to stay for the year, at least stay for the year at wherever you start. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Sierra England, but wherever you start, and just stay for the year, get that loan taken care of, and go from there. Because you don't want to take luggage with you when you go somewhere else. But yeah, in my opinion, I would say don't start OTR. I know that's how a lot of companies do it, is that they just kind of send you out there with a mentor, and I'm going to tell you right now, some of these mentors, they don't even, I don't even know how to explain it. My mentor, for example, was really dirty, safety hazard. For me, I'm trying to step on the gas pedal, and his box of chicken is in my way, so for me it was a safety hazard. A lot of them don't care because they've been doing it for so long, and go from there. For me, when they actually gave me my first sleeper, man, it was so dirty. It was problem after problem, and that's what makes it difficult too, is because sometimes some of these trucks that they give you are already long. They'll say 2018 and it's new with over 400,000 miles, and at the end of the day, it's giving you problems. So it's you're stuck at the shop for so long. So it doesn't just something to basically expect is when you start off and you get your own truck, you're going to be down sometimes, and it makes it difficult because you want to make that money. The one thing I do recommend too is just get plenty of sleep. I know for me it's hard because 10-hour reset sounds long, but I have insomnia. I'm always on my phone, and that light keeps me up. So for me, it's I can't really sleep. So it really just depends on the person. If you like to sleep 10 hours, hey, you're gonna have no problem doing this. But for me, getting sleep is very important because without sleep, you ain't going nowhere. After 2 hours of driving, for me, sometimes I just get tired. Like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'll get tired. And that, man, I'm just being honest. So, but yeah, whenever you get into trucking, don't. This is my mistake. Don't blow all your money on things that you don't need. There are certain things, like I was buying a bunch of seat cushions and blankets and pillow. Like, I've just bought a lot of stuff that I really spent a lot. I just wasted a lot of my money on. I really didn't need it. I could have been saving that money to buy myself like a new cooler or, you know, something that I could actually use. And, you know, for me, I have a cooler that I use. I just use that to keep my food cool, and, you know, I try not to. For me, I would recommend not eating out a lot. It does get pretty pricey after some time, and it's not really worth it. Your health has been a big thing. I was actually pre-diabetic, and ever since I became a truck driver, I actually lost about 20 pounds. So from there, it was like, okay, this has to be for me. This has to be where I should be, and you know, I've honestly, trucking gave me so many different skills from, you know, from my downtimes to my driving. I feel like I developed, and how do you say it? I just basically developed a lot of different skills. Like, I didn't know how to cook. Now I know how to cook. I bought a portable stove and I cook. It was actually really, really nice. And I bought a portable oven as well. Like, stuff like that, I would say you could buy it, because at the end of the day, when you're OTR, or even if you're doing like semi-locals from Vegas to Arizona, you know, it really just depends. I would say go for it, because honestly, you buy it one time, helps you save money, and it's really nice to have. I mean, for me personally, I love it. I really love it. I was really scared when I first got into trucking as well. You know, you look at this big thing and you're like, I can't do this. Trust me, after 6 months, this is nothing to you. And I love the challenge, I really do. But I would recommend starting off, like I was gonna say, sorry, I totally got sidetracked. Start off doing local work, wherever you start, just so you get used to the long hours. You get used to the different types of customers that you go to. Because for me, doing local was a lot harder than going OTR or, you know, semi-local runs, because it's a lot smaller. A lot of the stores are smaller, and for me, I do a lot of Walmart at Sierra England. That's who I'm with. I do only Walmart at the moment, and so a lot of the docks, a lot of the places were really, really small. But it gave me time to practice and learn, especially going through cities, and it really helped me learn. Like, I feel like I learned a lot better because they started me off going OTR, and for me, it was really, really difficult. So if you don't want to push yourself like that, or maybe if you just want to, you can go for it. But in my opinion, I think starting off local would be fine. And then if you really want to start getting out there, just do you know, Arizona runs, something small, 500 to like 1,000 miles. You know, that's what I would say. Just get used to that. After some time getting used to that, go OTR. OTR is so beautiful. And the reason why I love sticking with Sierra England is because the fact that, yeah, they are a small company, but I mean, for me, it's like I kind of made like another home, another family here, and everybody here is really nice with me. And for me personally, I love it. Like, it feels more like a home than it does a job. You know, of course, with a company like this, you don't pay for your own fuel, you don't pay for your own repairs. If anything happens, they come get the truck. Like, you know, for me, I would recommend that personally. Only because I know owner-operators, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but for me, I'm not trying to make this a job. The more and more sometimes I try to make this a job, like, the more and more unsatisfied and unhappy I actually really am, because like I'm always stressing myself out about making the money. And at the end of the day, if you literally only focus on that, it feels like you're not really making that much. And so it makes it difficult to do your job. But again, everybody's experience, everybody has different ways of thinking about it, and you know, some people like to do it that way. So, and plus, obviously, you can tell by all of the owner operators out there, thousands of them. So at the end of the day, really just depends. For me, I'd rather not worry about it. I'd rather, you know, if I break down, I don't gotta pay for it. You know, my checks aren't fat, but I mean, I average around 15 a week. So the take home is maybe like 11 or 12. So my income isn't bad, you know, and on top of that, going OTR, it's just, like, this is your home. This really is your home. And so, for me, I don't really have of the day, the driving part isn't hard, but dealing with the people, that's difficult. Very difficult. Sometimes, like, even I want to lose my mind. Like, I want to flip them off, road rage, and I think that's the reason what helps me out is being with the company, because the company trucks have cameras, they have the sensors, they have everything to make sure. Obviously, they don't want their property to get damaged, and in case you do something wrong, like, they want to know who's liable and all that good stuff. So I think that's the good part about being with the company is just it helps me as a person kind of not really get angry. Like, it just makes me back up. Like, it helps me just be calm about things, because the more and more you get mad, like, I can't tailgate them. Like, I'll get in trouble for that. Like, I'll get in trouble for tailgating. So guess what? I don't tailgate, or like, I don't cut people off, I don't swerve. So stuff like that, it helps me keep me under control, because sometimes I get angry, bro. Like, I just I'll try not to, but I know, like, it's there, but I know I can't do it. So at the end of the day, I learned to just kind of be, like, at peace with it, a bit more chill, and I've been more happy like that. So truck driving is a beautiful, beautiful job. You see sorry, I can't even talk. You see the world in a sense, where, obviously the U.S., but you see so many different things, so many different people, and for me, I just started this journey OTR, so I'm still trying to get there. Basically, I'm still trying to learn everything and the roads. And for me, like, I've been here 6 months. I haven't had enough time to buy a GPS, a trucking GPS, or a what's it called? A trucking GPS, or a CB radio. The trucks don't come equipped with the certain mounts that it needs, so I have to buy it myself at Sierra England. But yeah, so this is the reason why I say I recommend doing some local first, because local, it helps you get a better understanding of, like, the length of your truck, how you're going to turn, and how you're going to do certain things. And so I think that's the only reason why I like local, because it taught me those things, rather than just going out there and trying to figure it out. Like, nobody's there bothering me while I'm learning. So, but the one thing to don't expect your mentors at Sierra England to help you with everything. Because let me tell you, the first two that I had, the first one just wanted to make money. He didn't care about how I felt about it, and it was just like, it felt like a job, like I was forced to do it. And then my second mentor was super chill, but he didn't teach me everything. So for me, like, you have to, like, if you get lucky enough to find a mentor that's in the combo of being super cool, but also teaches you everything, like, that would be the way to go. For sure. Like, that would for sure be the way to go. If you can find one like that. It's very rare, but yeah. But there are plenty of routes you can go, from solo to teams, or even you being a mentor yourself. For me personally, I like going solo. Like, nobody is in here bothering me. Nobody, like, I'm in my own personal space. Like, I can play what I want, my music, I can play my videos. Like, I don't, especially when you get drivers, man, some of them, you're messing with grown people. For me, I'm only 21. So getting into this, I did turn 22 June 1st. My birthday just passed. But, I got into this at the age of 21. And now I'm messing with a bunch of people who are 30 in their 40s. And let me tell you, they smell. They absolutely stink. So for me, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to put up with it, and I wanted to go solo. So after being solo, for me, I made this as comfy as I can. I know you can probably see my bed a little bit, but it's messed up back there. But for me, I would recommend, when you get into something like this, save your money and buy a memory foam. Not like a whole mattress, but like a piece of memory foam. That's what I did, because these spring beds are terrible. Unless you like it, hey, that's on you. But I couldn't do it, so I have a piece of memory foam about like 4 inches. I sleep amazing, let me tell you. And also for me, like, I always keep a bunch of medical supplies with me. You're gonna run into a lot of people, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere, who are gonna need assistance. I mean, if you're the type of person you don't want to mess with them, hey, just keep going. No one's telling you to stop. But for me, I love to stop. I love to help people. So for me, I always carry medical supplies. I always carry anything for the streets, flares, anything, anything and everything I can think of. I do carry that with me. But like I said before, some of the stuff, like I bought it just cause. You don't have to buy it, so I'd recommend not buying it if you don't need it. But in case of any scenario, I like to make sure I have the things that I need, as well as I'm always. It might not seem like you might need it, but toilet paper and baby wipes are always a plus and a way to go, because there's going to be a day where there's not going to be any restroom and you got to do what you got to do. As a truck driver, the world is your bathroom, so I got used to it at this point. Let me help you understand your Qualcomm, or I call it Qualcomm. I really don't know what it's called at this point, but it's basically where you do your hours of service, your time that you input it, and all that stuff. It's for me. I was very confused. Like I didn't know what I was doing with it. I didn't know what was going on. So for me, understanding the basic fundamentals, I had to sit here for like 4 hours and be like, okay, how do I do this by myself? Because nobody wanted to teach me. Some people are willing to help you on that, but a lot of these drivers, they really don't care, and it's really hard to find some good people nowadays, and that says enough itself. But your Qualcomm, very important. You don't have to I wouldn't recommend stressing yourself out doing your full 11-hour clock unless you want to and you like to do it. For me, I do 9 to 10 hour shifts, and I call it a day. I don't push myself. I like to enjoy myself more than anything. So I do that. Let's see, fueling. Here's the plus about fueling. Of course, you don't have to pay for your own gas. But since they do work with com data, a lot of the fuel stations, TA or Love's. I always go to Love's or TA. TA is a backup, but I go to Love's because I save my points, and because you're putting so much fuel all the time. I'm able to save a couple $100 on my points system to buy me like a brand new CB radio, or to buy me a truck GPS, and that's what I've been saving my points for. I would recommend doing that. What else? Keeping your truck clean in my opinion, is a very big safety hazard. You don't want to be driving and having everything in your bag. Make sure everything is secure. That's another thing too. You don't want to be back there and you have trash sliding everywhere, and it's just, it could go under your brake. I got really comfortable at one point, and I was wearing my sandals, and I sometimes drive without my sandals on or my shoes on, so I just have my socks on, and I leave them next to my feet in case I get out of the truck. And one time my sandal went under my brake, and I was like, whoa, I realized why is my brake not working? And I scared myself, but it was just because my sandal was underneath there. So I realized, okay, I put them off to the side to make sure they're not in the way. And so you want to be very, very careful, because obviously, your brakes. So what else? I was gonna say, I would recommend downloading it if you don't have the money, because you're not gonna have the money right off to the bat to buy, a truck GPS or all that. So what I usually use Apple Maps. You can put it on satellite and zoom in onto where you're going to be docking or where you're going. For me, it was a bunch of Walmart stores, so for me it was a little bit harder to figure out where I'm going to go in, and so it helped me to look on the satellite. I zoom in all the way, and I would look for the entry I can go in. Maybe I can make a U-turn. I can dock. One thing with here in England, you cannot make U-turns. I've gotten in trouble so many times, especially on the streets. Do not make U-turns. It's not worth it. But obviously, if you're inside the docking area and you're doing a U-turn, it's fine. Or if you're at the DCs making one, it's fine. Of course, because you have to just to back up your trailer. So, but yeah, I would recommend using Apple Maps first. But download. It's called the Hammer. Or it's called Hammer. It's a Hammer app. It's a trucking app it's a GPS. I use it a lot. I don't really have issues with it. Only issues I really ever have is it'll take me on a road that I'm not allowed to be on. I can make it, but I'm not allowed to be on it. So I always say to just, if you use the app, make sure to stick onto highways. Even if it's 5 miles more, 10 miles more, just stick to the highways. Take the longer route and play it safe, because you don't want to get pulled over by CHP and get a DLT. Luckily, I haven't been pulled over yet. I don't really do anything crazy to get me pulled over. I always check your weights too when you're leaving the DC at the scales. Always check your weight, make sure you're not overweight because you will get in trouble. I know it happened to a couple of people that I know. And also at Sierra England, they're also gonna have you download a couple apps like Weigh My Truck app, Transflow. It's for your trip packs that you're gonna do. Trip packs are basically like a sheet you fill out, you know, time and day, the trip number, and all. You just fill it out. It's really easy. It takes like 5 minutes after your shift. You can turn it in on your phone, or if you're doing local, you go into the office and you drop it off. One thing about the staff there, I did have problems with them in the beginning. I don't know why. I think a lot of them were just on edge because, you know, a lot of people were quitting at the time, and I guess it was just hard on them. But they really took it out. They took it out on me a lot of the times. And honestly, the best thing to do when dealing with people like that, especially at a workplace, don't. I know some people offer them money for better loads. Don't do that. Just ask for more work. Like, if you can do it, just do it. Don't be calling off all day. Because the moment they see that, they know you're not going to want to work. So they're not going to give you anything. They're going to give you like 1 or 2 loads a day, and that's it. For me, I did about 3 or 4 loads a day. So that's the reason I was able to make like the top 10% already within my 6 months, because I wanted to work. I didn't have a home. I didn't so for me, I was sleeping in my car for a couple months, and I was driving the day cabs before I got this sleeper. But from there, I continuously asked for more loads. I asked to do this, and I realized like they would cuss at me, or they would say something or laugh at me, and I left it alone. The best thing to do if they do anything like that, don't